Hello everybody, it is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. And before I go a portion of a fraction of an iota of a step further, I would like to thank all of my subscribers, new, fairly new, OGs. I want to thank all of you who have been there with me, who are jumping on the cruise ship, and we got plenty more room, so if you know anybody, go grab them and bring them along. We got 681 more seats for this cruise, and then we can expand and get another ship. So yeah, right now we're at 319 subscribers. That is far more than I thought we were going to have. I told you by October 27th, my mother's birthday, I was looking at the possibility of having 180. That's a half year, you know, but a year will be April 27th, and we are, guys, we're like 46 away, and that's more than 4 months away. I'm tickled. Excuse me, yes sir. Water. So, my yarning project for the night is going to involve crocheting, but it's going to involve some sewing before the crocheting. This, guys, is my body pillow that I have been holding on to, loving on, keeping, squeezing, crying on, everything since 2011. So the foam in it is like really, you know, it's gone. It's gone, and the only thing I can do now is like bunch it up and make something really spectacular out of it. So that's what I'm doing. Technically, it is this long. That tells you how much that tells you how much pillow was gone. It's not pillow anymore. So I'm just gonna make a sturdy big pillow out of it. Since it looks like I am keeping my chair, even though it is too big for my room, but I think I have a way in mind that I can switch my room around and it'll work out. It'll be okay. So I will probably be using this with and on around my chair. And what's even better is I think that this is going to turn into my crochet pillow, which is one of the things that I wanted to work on for 2025 anyway. See how good God is? He gave me the resources that I needed to make that happen without me having to figure out how I was going to get a 20-pound box of polyfill in here. I was sure thinking about it. I was like, oh, that box is like $30-something. But I got to do it because I need a crochet pillow. So what I've done, I did the old hotel fold your pillow in and made a smooth edge, and I am going to be exercising my I wish I could sew freehand skills. I'm a little bit disturbed because I moved over to my bed again. I'm back at the bed thing. But I bought everything over here that I needed when I came, and I can't find my scissors. And if you guys are like me, you got that favorite pair of scissors that others just don't. And even though this favorite pair came out of a pack of 10 from Walmart, 10 pair of scissors for $12 or 12 pair of scissors for $10, something like that. I don't even remember. I just remember it was a whole lot of scissors. I paid more. I paid Yes, it must have been 12 pair of scissors for $10 because I think I paid less for the pack than the number of scissors I had, but it was varying sizes, and it was the smallest size they had in there that was like perfect for my crocheting. Don't ask me what stitch I'm using to put this together. I have no idea. There are going to be bumps and lumps and twists and knots and whatever, because this is not for pretty. This is for comfort. this is, what do you call it? Oh God, I'm having a loss for words when it's part of the job. Oh my God, what do you call it? Like when you need a special pillow to sit on for your job, and I can't think, but it's gonna be in the business expense pile. I can tell you that. I might have to change needles out because some of my yarn needles have like really serious points on them, and that's what I need going through this linen. Pete, come here please, baby. Yeah, we had a neighbor that used to live out here with us, and she moved last year. Please give me that clear box. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Check this one out. No. No. I'm serious.
Can I help you build that Cowboys football?
If you hear a little voice in the background, do like I'm doing. Ignore it, because we've already had discussions. I'm tired of talking right now. You know, sometimes you got to be mean, Grandma, to get your point across. All of these have dull points. I've got some that have really sharp points on them, and that's what I need right now. I think y'all, I got some needles that are so sharp. I could use them as IV needles. I could probably take them to the hospital with me and tell them, no. You can use these. They're just that sharp. And see, it's not like I don't have scissors. I have scissors. I just don't. I can't find that pair, and that's frustrating to me. Boy, this is going to be an all-nighter. So I think I already told you guys that we had one participant in the 15K giveaway, and I just went ahead on and put it out there. There was no need to prolong it, and that was Joan Minsky. Congratulations, Joan. And the first week in January, we've already done all the other parts that have to be done. She was on it, and I appreciate her for that. And we are just waiting for the post office to be a little more friendly. Right now, you got people returning stuff, people looking for mail, people coming back from vacations and holiday, and you know, I want all of that to wear down. And then when my little stipend comes at the beginning of the month, and on top of that, guys, I don't know if I told you, but I was a victim of identity theft again. And even though I don't know who it was, well, Samsung and some Air something company, but they kept trying to take 15 cents from my account. No doubt the money was there, but it was strange, and they did it like 8 times back to back. And then whoever this other company was tried to get a penny, and I'm like, see, my bank is so good, they don't know you. They're not giving my money to you. No. And granted, it was only what, $1.36, I think it was. Yeah, 10 times 15 is 150, minus 15 is 135, and the penny is 136. So yeah, $1.36, and it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I think if they had allowed any one of those transactions to go through, then they possibly would have tried for more. You know, and then I'd have been sitting somewhere looking good, you know, and I'd have been y'all have seen me frustrated. You have not seen me mad. You've seen me close. You've seen me close, but you haven't seen me mad. Yeah, when I get like that, I throw all caution to the wind. I set fire to the rain, watched it burn. Oh, let me stop. And I'm probably saying the words wrong. That is something that my daughter and I do. We will rewrite a song in a heartbeat. Y'all, I got a lot of good ideas for next year. I wanted to find a way to incorporate my writing and my crocheting. So one thing I will probably do once I get it all set up in my head and then write it down and see how it looks, I'll probably pick the first few to see how it goes across, and then I'll leave it up to you guys to pick it. But what I want to do, I want to put a few songs out there, and what I'll do is go back, and they have to be songs with lyrics, because I'll go take a portion of those lyrics and I will turn it into a short story. And while we're crocheting, I will read you my short story. I promise I will keep the stories YouTube friendly. I promise you I will. I'm an eclectic writer, and I miss writing. I really miss writing. So yeah, absolutely. And if it goes well, then I consider having a story channel. I'm still gonna be crocheting, y'all. Y'all know me. Oh my goodness. As many times as I have stuck this needle in, I have only completed about 1.5 inches. I'm starting to widen my stitches out a little bit, y'all. I started them like really close together. I did, but I'm starting to widen. I'm starting to widen them out now, because I'll be here until New Year's if I keep going the way I was going. So you can see. Sweet. I had packed it all the way down, and I was going to take this all the way down to the pillow, but it's like most of the pillow is bunched down to the other end now, and that's not what I was looking for. I want it to be even, and if I did this all the way down to the other end like I was doing, then I wasn't giving myself any wiggle room. So I decided to pull back a little, and then when I finish this side, I don't know, I might save sewing the other side until tomorrow. That'll give me something to do tomorrow night. Because it looks, if my aunt saw me doing this right now, my aunt would be like, Kathy. She doesn't call me Kitty. She calls me close to my government. She either calls me Kathy or little girl. I will always be her little girl. Always. Ooh. Widening those stitches made a world of difference. I'm making progress. Not a whole lot, but I am making progress.
Hey, is Miss Jackie's gonna come back?
No.
Oh. Well, that's okay. At least she...
I'm recording, baby. But yeah, I just told you a couple of my blah 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 blah. A couple of my ideas for 2025. I started another poncho. What I thought I would do before I do any tutorials next year, I want to go ahead on and make the item up, or at least do it in stages. And this will be the first stage of this one. I'm cutting it off with the black. This is going to be either all red or red and black, as it is, and it's going to be a long snug fitting poncho. It is for the purpose of me using it for traveling, on my scooter. I get very cold when I ride on my scooter, and the necking, or the turtleneck part, it covers up to here comfortably, so I can cover my ears and my face with that. And if I wanted to wear a hat on top, I could. I'm not crazy about hats, but I would have that option. And it's going to be not snug, but a lot tighter fit than a poncho. It's going to be like a tube. It really is. It's going to be a tube with armholes, and the armholes are going to be kind of low set. About elbow is where my elbows will come out, and I'm going to have wristies to match. I will probably do the slits, have the wristies in, and be able to pull the wristies back on the inside, to tuck them for storage use. I'm going to make myself a seat belt. And y'all, I found my neck pillow. It's the closest I can come to a pet. Meow. Y'all, I found out when I was a little girl that I was allergic to cats. I think I was 7 years old when I first found out. No, I was 8. I was 8 years old. The people next door to us were feeding a stray cat in the neighborhood, and the cat used to climb up to their roofing eaves all the time. Well, in their eaves were pigeons. And I mean, like 3 pigeon nests, 2 on one ledge and 1 on the other. So the cat used to walk the wire to get to the bird nest, and got up there one day and got hung. So I had my mom to hold my feet while I hung out the window between houses to save the cat. And I named the cat Marvin because the little boy that lived in the house was named Marvin. So I named the cat Marvin too. But when we let Marvin out, my eyes were swollen shut. My lips looked like I had just sucked them in a vacuum. My face looked really welty. I had welts all over my arms and hands, all across my chest. Looked like I had been scratched, but there were no scratch marks. And my mom's like, "Oh my God, you're having an allergic reaction. I need you to calm down." And I'm like, "I'm calm, I'm getting calm," you know. But that was the first time I had an allergic reaction to anything. And then it would just so happen that summer we went down to North Carolina. The lady who taught me to crochet, they had a beach house down in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and their beach house was more like a gaming house. It was like a carnival inside a home. He had all kinds of board games and the little sideshow carnival games that he built, Uncle Larry. I call him Uncle Larry and Miss Lena. But Uncle Larry had built all of these games from wood. He did it himself. He, you know, all the mechanics of it, the whole gamut. He did it. And that summer, went down to the beach to play some of the games and to play in the water. I think, that they live right off of Lake Mattamuskeet. So they had a bunch of cats. I got the beach chair and went down to the beach. Grabbed like 3 of the cats and went down there to the beach. Oh my God. Oh my God. And they had, it wasn't mullet season, but for some reason it was a school of little baby mullets that were close to the beach, which was completely out of character for them. So I kept going down, snatching up little crabs and little mullets. And of course now I got the fish and the crabs in my hand. I got the cats all over me. That was a hospital trip. That was truly a hospital trip. Oh, I'll never forget when we got to the hospital down there. They kept trying to say that my mom had abused me, and I'm trying to tell them no, but I can't talk. My mouth is just about swollen shut, and I'm like, no, this is cats. This is cats. Oh no, this is more than cats. I can smell the ocean on you. Are you allergic to seafood? No. I think you might be. Of course, they didn't have the high-tech testing back then that they have now. But that was the first time I was told I was allergic to seafood. So as I got older and they started testing, my first test revealed that I was allergic to soft-shell seafood. I think I was 18 when that happened. And that was my first kidney stone attack. And I went to the clinic to get an x-ray done, and they gave me contrast dye. And all I remember is them saying, "We're losing her. We're losing her." Everything sounded so distant, and it was just like fading, and it's like I knew I was there, but I wasn't, you know. It was just so peaceful. It was like I was just drifting into a land of peace. And then the next thing I know, everybody's asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Just relax. Stay calm. We're going to admit you for a few days. I think you might be allergic to iodine because that's what we use." And I'm like, no. You know, so here we are 11 years later, and you're adding something else to my allergies. What is going on? So they told me that it was soft shell seafood that I was allergic to, because and I could probably stomach fried soft shell seafood as opposed to steamed and, you know, pan seared and all the other ways, because that's how most of the iodine gets out of it, by frying it, deep frying it. So I would always eat fried shrimp. Shrimp sandwich, shrimp gumbo, shrimp soup, shrimp salad. Yeah, I would always eat my squimps. Got a lot of notifications coming through. So, long story short, as life went on, I tried to stay away from cats until the late 90s. 98, I had a cat to wander up to my house. I took the cat in, I named it Missy, and we were preparing to move, so I took Missy to my mother's house to watch until we got moved. My mom was playing with the cat, and she called me and she says, "What did you say this cat's name was?" I said, "Missy." She said, "I think you might want to change the name." Missy got two little things hanging back here. I was like, okay. So Missy became Moses. And Moses actually saved my life when we got into the new place. We had an electrical fire, and Moses came and jumped on my bed. Cat had never jumped on my bed, but he jumped on my bed, and I was asleep, so I kind of nudged him off. I'm like, "No, you know better, get off," and kind of nudged him off, and he jumped back on the bed and would not leave. And then Taz, she was a terrier, she came and put her paws on my bed, and I'm like, "What is up with these animals?" She's like, "My animals never got on my bed like that." And then I had a rabbit named Angel, and Angel came and hopped on my bed. The turtle came in my room, and I'm like, yeah, y'all, I had a little jungle going on. I did, but I loved it. I love animals, I do. And when I sat up, I could smell the smoke, and the only bedroom door that was open was mine. So on my way down the hall, following the smoke, I started touching doors. Both the bedroom doors were warm. Were cool. So I was comfortable because those were the kids' rooms. You know, and I started to go over to the bathroom to see, because I knew that bathroom was not cold. It was like extremely small, and I was like, okay, something happened with the hot water heater. Something. Yeah, I didn't know. I did not know. And without feeling the kitchen door, I opened the door to be met by a blaze. I had a fan that was plugged up like close to the door when you came in, close to the light switch. And the outlet caught on fire, which made the fan catch on fire. And me not thinking, you know, country girl, first thing we do is go grab water, and I got a pot full of water and threw it, whoosh, that whole sidewall. But we had only been in the house for 3 days, and that fire made me aware of the fact that our landlord had not attached the top of the counters. All of our counters and the facing of the cabinet, the lower cabinets, would slide right out. They had not been installed, they had just been placed. So yeah, that was fun. But then I wait until I get good and grown. I wait till I get seasons. Y'all, when I tell you I've had dogs all my life, I have. My very first dog was a German Shepherd, a thoroughbred German Shepherd. His name was Rex. Rex was like the dog, my buddy. Wherever I went, he went, except to school. You would have thought I was a little Bo Peep, and he was my lamb. Because Rex and I were inseparable. inseparable. Yes, we were. And we had to send him to the Rainbow Bridge when I was 11. He had hip dysplasia really bad. But we've had an array of dogs: German Shepherds, Feist, Dachshunds, Shepherd Pit Mix. Oh my goodness. Chihuahuas, Terriers, Poodle, Sheepdog. You name it, we had it. And the ones that we had most recently, well, my daughter has a pit and a beagle now. And even though, I go visit, my stays can't be as long as I want them to be. And, I do engage with the dogs, but not as much as I want to. Because I think they're absolutely beautiful. Yanni is my daughter's service dog. She can detect when she's about to have a seizure, when she's not feeling well. She is definitely her dog. And but Yanni and I have such a relationship. When I walk in the door, you hear, and I'm like, I never call her Yanni. My name for her is Kawana-Lulu. I'm like, Kawana-Lulu, turn your head around so you can see me out of your good eye, because she's missing an eye. And then she'll look at me, kind of cock her head over to say, I said, that's right. Now you see Grammy. You see Grammy. You can stop the fussing. Yes, I know y'all have never seen me like that about animals, but I love them. Yeah, a little something about me that you didn't know. And then the beagle that she has is Baby Girl. We also used to have a min pin. Now, Baby Girl, before Baby Girl, there was Bridget. Bridget was a Shetland. She was a Sheltie. What was she? She was a Sheltie Dachshund mix. That's what she was. And Cujo was a min pin. Cujo was about a third of Bridget's size. Cujo was the papa and Bridget was the mama. Now, Bridget was long with little short legs. That was the Dachshund in her. And she had hair. I mean, just like the collie in her made her, she had hair like Lassie. She had markings like Lassie, actually. Was a little bit brindle, throughout the body. We could always tell when we shaved her. That's when it showed the most. But Cujo's like pint size with legs that long. He was a miniature Doberman, guys, so he had the long legs and the little bitty body and the teeny weeny head. So when they mated and had puppies, so these puppies are miniature Doberman Shetland Dachshund, miniature Doberman Sheltie Dachshund mixes. So I call them dogs. I did. They had the normal size head, the normal layout of hair. They had long bodies and long legs, and they were absolutely beautiful. Bridget gave birth to 4. The very first one out was Breezy. Breezy was basically black, but he was black with slick hair, had basically like collie markings, the little brown with the white, and he had the little white streak right there at his heart. Second, I believe, was Whiner. Whiner was the only girl. Whiner whined from just before she was born. You could hear her whining before she came completely out. And so we called her Whiner. And then there was this beautiful brindle bundle of joy. He just looked like one circle when he came out. And the first thing my daughter said when she saw him was, chocolate chip cookie. He was brown and would look like Nestle's Toll House chips on top of him. So we named him Chip. His name was actually Chocolate Chip Cookie, but we named him Chip. And then the last one we had a little more. Okay, Weiner was golden. Weiner was blonde. Chip was golden blonde. And Smoke was like a charcoal. Smoke was healthy and hearty. You know, the rest of them came out, they were like, yep, 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 yep. Smoke came out with a yep. Yep. Smoke was my baby, but my mom gave him away. I knew she wasn't going to let us keep all 4 of those puppies, but my daughter's best friend got Breezy, and both my girls claimed Weiner and Chip. Now, as Chip was coming up, Chip did things differently. Chip would either get to the nip first or he was the last. He never came in between. And he would always back the thing up. He would always back up. Whenever we were playing with the puppies and we would call them, Chip would turn around backwards and come to us. So at first, jokingly, I said to my daughter, you know, if it were possible for dogs to be autistic, Chip is autistic. But then I started looking at him and I was like, you know what? I really think he is. I'm standing at the clothesline one day. Chip and Weiner were really close. They were, you know, it was Weiner born, then Chip born. So they go over to the gate. They're barking at whoever's walking down the street. Chip comes over. Chip was a digger. He comes over and he's digging. He's digging. He goes over to the gate. He gets Weiner, brings her back to a hole that he has dug. He stands there and he's looking at her, and he looked down at the hole. She looked down at the hole, and he did like this to the hole. He walks off. She stands there. He walks about 20 feet away from her to another hole that he's dug. She's looking at him. He did like this, so she immediately looked down. I'm just watching them. All of a sudden, a mole pops out of the hole. Chip smacked the mole. He went running back down the hole. Weiner was at the other end to catch the mole. I was like, he just told her to stand here and catch this mole. I went in the house and told my mom, I told my daughter. They were like, yeah. I said, I am so serious. Guys, I kid you not. Like 2 weeks later, it was time for the babies to be immunized, to get their booster shots. And Dr. Love, a veterinarian over in Chesapeake, Virginia, in Deep Creek, Dr. Love looks at Nikki and she says, yeah, Chip is doing just fine. You know, all of his shots are caught up. I'm glad we decided to do him and Weiner separate, blah, 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 blah. She goes, oh, by the way, you are aware that Chip is autistic. Y'all had to leave the room. I was tickled, not in a joking sense, but it was more like a I told you, you know? So I had to go in the lobby and get myself together first. My daughter came out about 5 minutes later, and y'all, when I tell you she went through every emotion possible, she was mad as Spitfire with Dr. Love. She was livid with Dr. Love for saying that her baby was autistic. She was so mad. So she comes out and she's like, Mama, that woman said that my baby is autistic. She said that Chip is autistic. Mama. And then she starts laughing uncontrollably. Mama, she actually said that Chip is autistic. Mama, she said, y'all, when I tell you she went through every emotion there was, and it was all I could do to keep myself composed enough to be mama to my grown child. Guys, I'm telling you, if you think that it's not possible, it is. It is. They're humans with four. They're human on four. But back to Missy / Moses. After Moses saved my life, Moses moseyed into my life. I was trying to go hang out clothes one day, and Moses was on my back porch. I believe in the clothesline. I love clothes to hang out on the line, but I can't do that right now. Not only because it's winter, because I can't stand that long. I can't hold my arms over my head that long. But I went to hang clothes on the line, and there was this cat on my porch that would not go away. And this will further tell you how much I love animals. I went back in the house and got a can of tuna fish. I like tuna fish in spring water. And I opened it up, took a couple of tablespoons out, put it on a little dish, and sat it on the porch. And Missy became my cat until I found out Missy was actually Moses. So then Moses became my cat. So after Moses saved my life, the neighbor next door to us, we had just moved, and the neighbor next door to us was going through something. So that neighbor decided that he was going to feed Moses. So Moses stayed with him, and then Moses disappeared after that. I figured that Moses was just in the blessing business. So I think I did right by naming him Moses. Moses parted the Red Sea. Moses, tell Pharaoh, let my people go. But yeah, y'all, I've had my share of pets. I laughed about the Moses situation, and when I said I would tell you how much I love pets. My son, we lived over by a golf course before we moved to that place where we had the fire. And they used to have one of those concrete ditch tubes. Well, they had one sitting atop the ground over there, and the kids used to play in it all the time. That's how I ended up with a house full of frogs, and because my son collected everything. So he comes home one day, and he goes, Mom, I need a towel really bad, Mom. So I gave him the towel, a little hand towel, and he goes and plays, and he come back, and he's holding something like this. I'm like, oh my God, what do you have? What do you have? Guys, he came back with a little squirrel. So we had a squirrel for a little while. Yes. We had turtles. We've had lizards. We had a lizard named Kieran. And my kids never knew that I played with the lizard as much as I did. Oh my goodness, y'all. Kieran was a bearded dragon. And my son couldn't think of any name other than bearded. And he was like, no, they say it's a girl. And she was still his girlfriend at that time. But his girlfriend's name was Keisha. So he replaced the B with a K and called it Kieran. So the very first time I had to clean out Kieran's living quarters. There's nobody but me in the house. Well, we had a cat. We had another cat by then. That cat's name was Kiwi. Kiwi was chill. Kiwi was Jennifer's cat, and Kiwi was real chill. So the first couple of times I cleaned the area, I would leave my son's room door, because the lizard stayed in my son's room. I would leave his room door closed. There we go. I would leave his room door closed so the Kierty couldn't get out. So I turned around one day. First I had my back to Kierty, and I heard I turned around to see what was going on. Kierty was all the way in the corner, like by the door, and she turned around and stood up on her hind legs, and they have that flap that goes out like the Lhasa, whatever, the Lhasa-saurus, whatever, the ones that are not really real dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, the ones that spit and blind you. Anyway, that's what bearded dragons do. They pop that fan out around their head, and when they run, their hind legs look like little cranks. They what toy is that where it literally it goes like how does it? I don't know. Anyway, it was like I don't know why I was trying to make it do it the other way, but at any rate, it's like 1 foot in front of the other, but out to the side there. That's how they run. And when I saw Kierty running towards me, all I could do was just fall out on the floor and laugh. And she came and just sat right here in my sternum, and she's looking in my face, still out. You know, she never bit me or anything, but I kind of got the sense that she wanted to play. So I opened the door and I ran to my room, and she chased me. So I turned around and I went, ha! And she turned around and ran back to the room. So that's what Kierty and I started doing every day. I didn't tell the kids that for the longest. When I told my son about it finally, he was like, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I was like, why? He said, it's just your nature, Mom. It's just your nature. You were taking my animals like you took in kids. Y'all only have that much to go. See? I'm doing it. I am doing it. I'm so proud of me right now. And the fact that I went on and did it. And I appreciate you guys for hanging in here with me and listening to me. If you've been here with me, if not, I understand. But just to give you a heads up, there is going to be more crocheting in 2025. Y'all know that I have been going through, but it's been a lot more than just going through. I've been restructuring some things. I told you about the crochet along story time. I am going to do more tutorials. I am working on writing patterns. I am spending at least an hour a day, what I call in-class learning to edit. And right now it's just comparing software. I even went so far as to download a couple of free softwares, which were actually a little too complicated for me. It seems that the ones that they say are the easiest cost, and the more they cost, the better they are, and that makes sense. But I don't have an extra $300 right now. I just don't. So I'm trying to maneuver and see what I can do with what I have. I might just, have to do the same thing for a little while until I can get to where I need to be. But at any rate, there are bigger and better things. I already have my list of makes made out. I think I have I bought it over here with me. I just took the time to clean this bed off and just screwed everything up again. Okay, I was about to get mad because I moved the notebook and not the player. I thought I felt my scissors. I know you can't see everything. This is a list of items that I plan to make in 2025. This is how many of each item. I have room for extra makes along here. And it comes up to 1,000 items. And I know that I know it's doable. I know it's doable. I know how I crochet. One thing that I got for Christmas, I can't show you guys because it's just not something I do. But the other thing I got for Christmas was this. Those of you who don't know, I am a diehard Dallas fan. All day, every day, twice on Sunday, and triple time in the off season. Excuse me. I love my Dallas Cowboys. Win, lose, draw, rain or shine, it doesn't matter. I have always been and will always be a cowgirl. I bleed blue and gray. But yes, I have a Lego football to build, and I'm going to do that as well. It's going to be a crafting day, which is pretty much what this is right now, because I'm really sewing the daylights out of this pillow. I am making this happen. I still intend to search for, look at, and help run the viewing times up for fellow channel holders, and I'm beseeching each of you to do the same. Just reach out to somebody who doesn't have a lot of subscriptions, and give them that viewing time. Subscribe. Just go to one of their playlists, turn it on. Even if you turn the volume down and go to sleep and let it play. We can do that. We can help each other obtain our goals. It's just one way. And guys, those of you who leave me comments, I thank you so much. I really do. Denise, and I'm only naming a few, but Denise, Lana, Joan, I love it when you guys leave me comments, and sometimes it's those that make me think, oh, one thing I did not say that I will be doing next year. I am going to be breaking down the ASL. I'm getting back into the ASL. I'm going to break it down by alphabets. I am looking up things pertaining to crochet, crafting, knitting, yarns, hooks and needles, those types of things, so that I can share that with you guys, so we can look forward to that as well. So you have tutorials to look forward to. You have crochet along in story time. You have crafting days. I'm gonna have, of course, my mates. I might show things as we go, but I might wait until the end of the month and show what I've done for the month, unless it's something that I have to, something that I've sold, something that's been commissioned. I am so sorry. Yeah, unless it's something that I've commissioned and I got to get it to them ASAP. But other than that, I'm going to focus more on photographing my work as I get it done and try to incorporate that in my videos. Some more learn about editing, but I will be posting things on the community page. I'm not very big in the Facebook world and in the Instagram world. I finally opened my TikTok back up. I have not set a page aside for Create and Relate yet. Right now, that's not something that I'm trying to focus, learn, execute, and perfect. So once I get this editing down, then I can expand. I can do more. One step at a time. That's I can't find anybody to teach me the way that I learn best, so I have to use alternative methods. I'm a show me type person. Tell me what to do, show me while you're doing it, and then let's do it together. Then watch me do it. I got it. So the rest of it, I have this switch in my head, y'all. It's like once I get past the fourth word, if it's a lot of reading, it becomes mumble jumble. I can, and it's so bad that even when I read books that I want to read, I have to change stories. I have to learn the characters really quickly. Not change stories, but I have to change voices. I have to learn the characters really quickly and then say what I think their voice would sound like. Read their part in that voice. I have to change the narrator's voice sometimes because it's like that little switch gets bored and it just clicks off, and it's like it's just a bunch of words dancing across the page. They don't mean anything, and that's why it's taking me so long to get this editing down, because I understand people, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. People have lives, and I get that. I understand that completely. But in that, nobody has the time to give me the time that I need to learn how to do this, So it's just going to take me a little bit of time to get it done, but I know that I'm going to get it done. I'm definitely going to get it done. But in the meantime, in between time, we got a lot of good things to look out for, guys. I've been very disciplined here lately in the past week or so. I haven't purchased any yarn. I've done well. I've done really good. So, yay, go me. Pat on the back. I, have set aside a time that I can go purchase yarn. Next month, I am pulling back a little bit on the purchases. I really have to get rid of this that I have, and yeah, it's a lot. I have a lot going on. The ADHD in me is really going to be put to the test, and what's so bad about it, I already have this conflict going on because I'm OCD as well. So there's the pattern. Like when I count by threes, and when I start a project, I'm breaking out of that slowly, but I have to start a project 5 times in order for it to be right to me. If I have not started that project 5 times, and I don't mean just slip stitch, take it a loose slip stitch. I mean like sometimes really, really get into it, and I know that that's only my 4th time. It just does not feel right until I get that 5th time, and sometimes it can be good, but yeah, the tutorials that I have done, trust me, I have already started those prior to coming in doing the tutorial. Yeah. So with that, excuse me. Please, please, please don't forget to practice self-love, guys. It is the greatest love of all. And besides, you cannot give others the love that they deserve if you don't love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. And you deserve the best. But knowing all of everything that you do, that I love you too. So until we meet again, watch the video that we'll be dropping on Sunday. So I'm giving everybody their flowers. That is the beginning of my everything. So if I don't see you before then, I will definitely see you then. You guys go and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your holidays. Peace out.